Hello, hello, keyboard people. How are you? Yeah, long time no see, right? It's been a while. How are you guys? I managed to lube 110 switches in this in between. And I also had dinner, so I'm not gonna starve on stream like I usually do, which is always a good thing. And that's not all. I also finished the stabs. So this is one of those keyboards that basically destroys your stock of stabs because it uses 6 stabs, being 1 625U and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 2Us. That's crazy. Hey Fiduta, welcome back. All right, so since I already did the stabs, I already did the SIP sockets, let's start soldering. And actually, since we're using this very flimsy kind of plate, what I'll do is I'm gonna populate the whole thing and then we're gonna solder. Because otherwise it won't work. So let's start doing it. Just gonna set this switch here aside, because this is the space bar with a heavier spring. Yeah, this is a shit ton of switches. Be prepared, Gondo, because I know you're gonna go through the same thing soon, right? Are you doing the breastplate with blank inks? Yes, I will probably be doing the breastplate next with the black inks once I got them. This is a polycarbonate plate, so one of those plastic plates. Hey, look who's here. Simper Steel, how are you? Welcome. I should move to linears just so it's quicker to lube. Yes. That by itself is a good justification to going with linears. But I do love linears very much. Oh, good. How's Australia? Is the burning thing still going, or is it much better now, Simper Still? I wonder how the plate is going to hold. I think it's going to be fine, since it has so many anchor points and the PCB beneath it should provide enough support, I think. But we shall see. Might get one yourself. Yeah, I love plastic plates. Hey, hello Bifo, how are you? Welcome, welcome. This is gonna be the largest build of this channel ever since I started. The largest build that I had before this one was the TKC 1800, which is a 1800 keyboard, but it had less switches and needed less stabs as well. So this is like, hey, Eventual Entropy, how are you? Welcome. Still a few places on fire, but there have been floods elsewhere. Oh my god, how wild, how crazy is our nature right now, that you go from fires to floods like that. Oh, I appreciate your joining us. Hello to you as well. We have a very large build to go through tonight. Yeah, we are having bad floods here as well, especially on a major city around me, São Paulo. It's really bad. How is São Carlos, by the way, Gondo? Did you guys have issues as well? At least here, we didn't have any major issues. We did have a little bit of excessive rain, but not enough to cause any damages or anything like that, like São Paulo. Botucatu have issues too? Are you in Botucatu? Yep, flooded city center is completely destroyed. I mean, asphalt has literally escaped from shit. That sucks, man. We've been there here in my city, like 1 year, no, last year we had that same issue. Also wanted to say thanks to Mr. Keebs and Gondo for the PCB design videos. I'm still making my way through them, but they're pure gold. Yeah, a lot of people is actually coming and commenting on those, which reminds us that we need to pick it up and continue the series, which is something, you know, we really want to do and willing to do as soon as possible. Oh, so your wife's cousin is in Botucatu, I see. Yes, it really blows my mind how many people are watching those videos. It reached a very wide audience, which is great. And gives us the extra boost to actually keep them going, right, Gondo? So my worst fear with this many switches being inserted is that we're gonna have a lot of bent pins. So I'm trying to be extra careful. They're everything I wanted to know so far that other sources haven't really covered. Okay, that's awesome. I also co-opted a few aspects of various PCB from, yeah, the Gateron project is pure gold as well, if you need to check or have a source for your own PCB designs. Pure gold. Man, so many switches, it's not even funny. It feels like I've been pushing switches for like the last half an hour, and there's still a lot to go. Isn't better to populate it from start and GP with every single switch? What is GP? Oh, yes, go with everything switch. It is if you're doing a plate that is not like this, plastic, because what will happen is you will not be able to clip the switches. Because you're going to push this down, this is going to unclip the switch next to it, and it's going to be hell on earth. I say that from experience. So that's not a good advice when you have a a plastic plate. Hello, Victor Pre, welcome back. All right, let's push a few of the switches in. Everything so far made it through. Let's start doing this other side. Looks like an interesting build. Yes, it is. All right, so have a good night and take care, Eventual Entropy. Thank you so much for the feedback on the PCB videos. We're always really happy. What is the difference between red and black inks? Basically the spring. Or only the spring. Nothing else. The weight of the spring actuation and bottom out. Okay, let's just start with the corner switches. So I know that those are inserted and flush. So we're gonna start there. Why would black sound better? They do not necessarily sound better. I think they are very equivalent. What they have different is more the feeling. And I dare say that the weight of the spring do change the sound a little bit. But they are very equivalent in my opinion. Okay, let's get started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. I don't know who did those pads, but I really love them. They allow you to make the best solder joint in the world. So I don't know who did it, but thank you for this. Way better than what we used to. If you guys know who did it, please thank him for me. I know, Gondo, I'm messing with you. But I'm really telling you the truth when I say that I really appreciate the way those pads are. They are way better. Than what we usually get. Yes, they're not only tighter than normal, but they have wider. The pads are a little wider, so you can make like a perfect solder joint using on them, and I really appreciate that. Like seriously, let me see if I can show you guys this. So check this. Where is that? Here. Check that solder joint right there. How perfect it is. And it only happens because of the way that those pads are. So thank you, Mr. Gondo, for such amazing pads. Hell yeah! Mr. Demon, how are you? Welcome. We did miss you. We're glad you're here. Demoness. Bumping the fan a little bit so we don't get killed by fumes. Now, before we continue, I'm going to run my fingers through all the switches to see if we have any bent pins. And I'm also now making sure that all the switches are really flush with the PCB so we can start soldering. And I can see like a bunch that aren't really flush. So now I think we're good. Man, I'm eager to get some of those inks. I think I'll sell my get pinks and ningers. Does the red clip firmly into the plate? Yes. And I once you had that issue, I tested on a lot of different plates, Victor, and I didn't have any issues. So I think it may be the plate that you were working with that had issues. Is that possible? Like I did the zinc keyboard this weekend, and it also snapped. I used red inks as well, and they were just perfect. Yeah, I do think that in your case it was the plate, unfortunately, but I do. Yes, this plate is probably 1.5 millimeters, almost sure. Man, this is one of the best, and I'm not saying this because you're my friend, Gundo, but one of the best pads that I soldered in keyboards. They are so damn good. Congrats on those footprints. I'm not even kidding. And switch cutouts 14 millimeters. Yeah, I don't know. They look like they are 14. Those pads were constantly optimized with Protos. Remember Arctic and Keeps? Yes. No, yeah, I can tell the difference. They are really nice. Love them. By far my favorite so far. So I had a couple of switches here that are not flush with the PCB. You can notice when you look at them from behind, like this. This one might be as well. So you can hear that snap, the click, when it becomes flush. The pads on the Shark are nice. When I built mine, the switches held firm even with an FR plate and foam. Yes, so those here are really nice as well. All right, let's solder the numpad and all the keys here. So have you been using the Shark, Evo? Are you enjoying it? Yeah, we had a couple of instances here where the switches were not flush. So it's always nice to do that. Solder one pad, then the other trick. All right, looks like the numpad is all done. Let me just double check if this right shift is flush. Now I'm gonna try and solder some of those mid rows here to make sure that the neighbor switches are all flush. So that's another thing you can do. And I can see that some of them aren't flush. All right, let me do the whole top row. Man, this music is a little bit annoying, don't you guys think? Jesus Christ. So now we're gonna go one by one, making sure that they're flush. All right, top row seems to be all good. Let's solder the second bed. Hey KVS, welcome back. We are on this soldering journey because this board is just huge. So gonna take us a little time to finish it. All right, I'm gonna do this side now. I've kept thinking about those PCB holders. They seem like a simple enough mechanism. Did you get the link, Super Normal Like? If you didn't, I can search for them right now. Did someone find you the link? Hey, welcome Hing Chen. And thank you for the follow, Hing Chen. But shipping that makes me more and more expensive than... Oh, that sucks. Yeah, the thing I did, in my case, I ordered like 5 of them. No, 4. I have 4 of them. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time. Oh, you're contemplating making one yourself. That's awesome. I fully encourage you to do that. I think I missed that on the last part of the stream. So what are your plans on making one? How do you want to do it? So now let's do, I think I'm going to do the last row here because it's easy to check if it's flush or not. Hey, Conan, thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you, thank you. What 65% kit would you recommend for around 200 to 300? So I've been thinking about that. And it's really hard because you mentioned, I think, the KBD 65. Let's take a look at that. Because I do have the first version of the KBD 65, but it is a tray mount, so I don't know if it's worth, even though it's your first keyboard, I would recommend it as your first keyboard. I would also recommend maybe a cheaper one. The Tata 68 is a great start for a keyboard. Yeah, Make 2 I know is a top mount, but I don't know if that's in stock. And if you're going for tray mount, I would start with the Tata 68. Maybe go with the Tata 68 and the plastic case. Or I don't know if they still have it, but there is an aluminum bottom for it. It's a great first keyboard if it's your first one. Now, if it isn't your first one, I think Mark II is out of stock, almost sure. Hold on, it isn't? Yeah, so there's a waiting list. I don't know, maybe it's worth joining this waiting list and going with the Mark II, because at $205 it's a very nice price. Also, it's really hard to find those keyboards in stock. There's the Savage 65 from Canon Keys, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's out of stock right now, but I think there will be around 2. So that's another great keyboard. I don't know how much this was, but I know it was not that expensive. So another one to keep an eye on. Aside from those, do you have any others that you know are in stock constantly? I can take a look if you have a few, but I don't remember any 65% besides the one that I mentioned that are kept in stock. Which other ones were you thinking about? NK65, so that's in stock. What about the Mastrop Alt? I don't recommend the Alt at all. I think it's the PCB on that thing is weird as fuck. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Even the high profile lager. Yeah, the quality is not good. So this was 140 and it's hot swap. Yeah, I mean, you could start with a hot swap, but if you like want to solder and learn to solder, it would be nice to have a soldered PCB. That's no problem, Lager. Is this top mount or... Yeah, so this is top mount. So this is a nice one to start, to be honest. If you can afford it and they restock, I would say go for it, because it's a nice keyboard and it's top mount, which for me is a big plus. I think Demon was selling his NK65. I don't know if he is. Oh, there. Oh my God, can't even believe that. So yeah, Demon is selling his NK65. Hey, I forgot, did you join the LZ Physics? I did. But FR4, at least for my taste, it is really good. So I don't think you have issues with that. Even with tactiles, they are really good. So I think you're good with that. I don't remember which plate I did, to be honest. I never remember what I did on most of the group buys. But I can check if you're curious. What's the difference between top and plate mount? So basically, when you have plate mount or bottom mount or tray mount, as they call it, is you're basically putting the whole PCB into little standoffs from the bottom. So one of the key things for a good typing experience is kind of the flex, right? When you press the keyboard, you like it to flex, at least I do. When you support the PCB with standoffs that come from the case, from the bottom of the case, they take out that experience. So the typing is not that good. For me, the best mount is the top mount, where you get the plate like this one, and you screw it on the top part of the keyboard. So the PCB and the plate, they are kind of floating and only attached to the top of the keyboard, for the top of the case of the keyboard. So typing experience is always better. So this is what the difference is in a nutshell, of course. I don't know if that was clear enough. But you don't necessarily need a top mount for your first keyboard. I only had a top mount on my, let's say, 4th or 5th keyboard. Let's check out that link. Super normal like. Of course, Hing-Chen. My pleasure. Ah, nice. So you want to have a 3D printed top? Yes, a silicone rubber, some kind of nut. I think that you're going to be 100% good with this. Super. I mean, the worst case scenario, you're going to break it and then you just have to print another one. I get excited with those kinds of projects, like when I do it for myself. So if you're somewhat like me, you should be super excited to do it yourself. I mean, the thing that I use to lube my switches is something I've made. I have a lot of things here that I designed and made for the, for keyboard stuff. All right, I'm gonna do the 2 last rows, and then we can solder the final pins for everything else. And I'm thinking with the washers, it'd be easy enough to remove or add some or on for weight or change the height. Yes. And as long as you have like, I don't know if you had, so for the base, do you want to have like a magnet to stick it like mine? Or what's the idea there? I'm thinking of keeping it really simple. Yeah, that works. The only thing is that it may, if you make it out of plastic alone, it may be too slippery and not hold the PCB. And when you try to put some force on it, it may slide on the table. I don't know. That's one concern I would have. Wow, this was really bad. So when you're doing a big keyboard like this one, it's always nice to do what I'm doing and make sure that all the switches are flush, because sometimes, especially with a plastic plate like this, when you insert the switches, they're not going to be really flush, and there are too many switches to account for. So we finished checking for, you know, if they're flush. So now I'm confident enough to go back and solder all of them. And then all that's going to be left is the keys that are not 1U that we didn't do yet. We just did the ones that fit the plate exactly. And after that, we're going to be done. How cool is that? Hey, NR Bigfoot, how are you? Does that magnet work through the silicone soldering mat? It gets weaker because it's a thick mat, but if I take this thing off, it works. It still it still does a little bit of force, but it's not as strong as if I do straight to the table or just using this cutting mat here. With that said, they do have very strong magnets. All right, we're good here. Let's do those missing guys here. So we have backspace. We have, okay, so now I need some help from the cheat sheet that Gondo did down here. So this is the 125 view. So we want to put it to the left. Like this. Then the next one here is to the left as well. There we go. And then we have the space bar, which we're doing. So I'm thinking of soldering an LED on the caps lock here to use one of those window. I think I'll do that. I don't usually do that, but I think I'll do it now. Over time, I have grown to liking the full-size keyboards a lot. Yeah, I think they're just impractical in my opinion. But having a layout like Austin, I think is outstanding because you can get best of both worlds. So let's see, for LEDs, this should be the polarity. But this is not the caps lock. This is the caps lock. I don't know why the build command sometimes fails, but let me see if I can copy and paste what I'm building. Which doesn't look like I can do. Yeah, sorry guys. It's gonna work in a second. We can do that again. So we have the LED here. Let me just quickly see if that will turn on. Yep, there we go. All right, let's solder everything that's left. Oh, I forgot about the spacebar. Spacebar will be here. Thank you so much, NR Bigfoot. What's the link to your artisan tracking website? Really look at need for it. Okay, so here he goes. The link is https://a.mrkeebs.com. Make sure that you use HTTPS. Sometimes it doesn't, and then you have trouble logging in. Thank you, Demon. Yeah, because if you log in, you can do a couple of nice things like keep your wish list and submit new sculpts. Let's see if someone did. No, nobody submitted list. And on the front page now we have the latest additions, which is the last artisans that were submitted and approved by other users. Oh, and I did forget the little zero thingy here. Let's fix that. Okay, everything is flush. Let's just finish soldering, and I did see a couple of solder joints or missing pads. What else? So we have the backspace and the caps lock here. No. Where's the caps lock? Oh, I did that already. Do you buy artisans on there? You don't. It's just to keep your collection. This is Jordan. So many switches, I know. So now we're going to go through and make sure that we didn't miss any. 102 switches, if I remember correctly. This is the largest board that I built so far. Yeah, we missed one for the 0 that we just did. All right, we are done. I feel obligated to own this board because my first name is Austin. Damn. It isn't running. It just finished the first round of the group I, but there may be a second round. I'm almost sure that I saw a second round on Drifting Bunny's Discord, so you may be lucky, and I think there will be a second one. So if you know my channel for some time, you know that we only do board testing with the Josh sound. And so let's test this baby. All right, looks like we have a winner here. I really wanted to add Josh to VIA, but I was really sad when I found out that VIA is no longer open source. I would love to know the reason why it's no longer open source. One of the big things for me about VIA is that it was open source. All right, with that said, time to assemble this baby. I like using 40% boards. Yeah, me too. I like them from 40% all the way up to these beasts. So I don't discriminate. I just like keyboards. If there's one size that I'm not 100% sold on, is 65%. I think that's one of my least favorite sizes. Mostly because if I'm going with the extra column, I might as well get a 75%. That's the only thing. Man, I had so bad luck with split. The last one that I built, I don't know if you guys were here on the stream, was the zinc, and QMK just doesn't want to work with it. So I had bad experiences. Hey Stash, how are you? Oh man. Okay, now is the time that we add the LEDs before assembling. Could I realize this? So now I need to remember it is the shorter side up for those two here. And we should test that before. And then up here, which side is the square? It is the left side. So the small thingy, there we go. I'm good, brother. Just working on a customer board. Really? You're doing customer boards? I didn't know. Which board is it? Both shifts were rubbing the blockers, so I had to adjust to move the plate. Oh man, yeah. I had similar issues before. A few times I had to use the Dremel and all that fun thing. So let's say that I don't envy you right now. One screw. Oh, we have O-rings, right? Let's do O-rings. I wish Drifting Bunnies was here. So he could tell us where to put the O-rings, if it's between the plate, and which would make sense, but it's really hard to do. Or behind the plate. That's what I don't know. Because I don't think those O-rings are gonna stay in place if we try to put them between the plate and the top of the housing. I think I'm gonna go with between the plate. Oh, and I just lost one of the LEDs. Oops. So short side up. So we have a new sketch. Says this page couldn't be found. Is it still? Oh, you repeated it twice. Just noticed. So nut, metal washer, rubber washer. Yes. Stacked metal. Yeah. 3M. Yes, this is a good idea. I like it. I think that should work. I think this tip is losing its magnets. And it also looks like we don't have O-rings for all of the screws. Oh boy. I think I might do this with all of them. Maybe I can go tomorrow and get some parts together if that's somewhere. Nice. Please do that. I really like the concept. Man, that black PCB and case combo sure looks good. I agree. And Junior Paris, thank you so much for the follow. Janky Render, this is the #1 asked question on this channel. How many keyboards do you have? Followed by, if you could only have one, which one would you like to have? So this question is easier than the other, but I don't have a formal count yet, but it's around 120 to 130 keyboards. That's the unofficial number. Holy crap, I know. Total value is really hard because I do have a good 20 or so low ends that costs a lot less than the average. So it's really hard to tell. Insured value. Yeah, I wish I had insurance for my keyboards. Maybe that's something I should look into. Oops. This is a little bit frustrating because I don't know if the screws are not magnetic or if it's my screwdriver that is not really working as it should. But with that said, we finished putting it together. Let me just plug in to see if the LEDs are working as they should. And Gondo called out about this, that look, how the USB-C thing is flush. Let me go wash my hands real quick. Hold on. I'm back. All right. Have a good night, Demon. There we go. So we have caps lock working. Where was numlock? There we go. And then, oh, this is so sexy. Look at this. Oh man, this must be my favorite thing. How cool is that? Hey, Drifting Bunnies, welcome back. Just in time. Wish I could stay more, but I have to go now. We'll catch up. All right, Victor. Have a good night to you as well. I know it's pretty late where you guys live, so thank you for sticking around. All right, are you guys ready? Oh, I forgot, we need the caps too. So I'm thinking about going with GMK Oblivion round 2 with the monochrome kit with some Hogoromo caps. What do you guys think? Oblivion is a nice choice. Yeah, I agree. So we're going to take it out of the Ger Mini, not the Ger 80, and we're going to go with it. Hold on, let me grab it here. Oblivion is always a solid choice, and I do agree with that. This keyboard is kind of a pain in the ass to take caps off because part of it is plateless, so really hard to take caps from this area. Also, you have a J80 and Austin in your desk as well? There you go. Yeah, I really like the J80 as well. Really solid board. Oops, no. We are not gonna need this top row at all. Bottom row, I mean. So the reason I'm not using puller for this is because it's really hard to take out those caps with the puller, since you have a plateless build. Sometimes you pull the switch together with the keys. Hey, Stray, what's the screwdriver you were using a few minutes ago? So this is called the ES121. There is a cheaper version called, that's not a cheaper version, but a cheaper alternative called Xiaomi. Help me out, chat. Xiaomi what? I will look it up if chat doesn't point out, because this is really expensive, this ES121. But there is an alternative. Wow stick. Thank you, Panda. That one. Yeah, it works amazing. Like, I love the screwdriver. It has a little more torque than the Xiaomi one, but the Xiaomi is still a solid choice. I have a regular Xiaomi kit and it's very good. Quality is nice for pretty cheap. I agree. The cost benefit, I think, is higher on the Xiaomi than on the ES121. You bet. All right, so this is done. Let me put it aside here. With those types of screwdriver, does it stop when it gets tight or does it keep going? So for the Xiaomi, you press a button. For this one, it depends on this. If I twist my wrist this way, it's gonna keep going until I come back. or if I stop pressing this button here. So you press a button, and if you don't twist it, it's never gonna do anything. But if you turn it this side, it's gonna screw, and then if you turn the opposite side, it's gonna unscrew. Yeah, put some artisans here, right? Yeah, that was the idea. And you know what's a bummer, Panda? That thing that we were talking about the other day, that there is no sub-legends for the numpad. That really sucks. I did it wrong. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess it's cheaper, but come on. And this is officially the first keyboard that I get the opportunity to use this 0 here. Pretty sure it's the same price, so yeah, I can't understand then. I was gonna say, wait, where is number 2? Here it is. Hey, look at that. Japanese horror story with the 100 bits. With 1,000 bits. Sorry, I misread that. How are you, man? Thank you so much for joining and for the bits. Let's find those keys that I never use, like this one. Oops. Let's now, hold on. Austin GB. I need to remember the layout, at least the default layout. Here it is. So it is print screen, scroll lock. Man, it kind of looks like a Node phone inserted of numpad. So yeah, this is a pity. Okay, I'm not gonna bother you with the image of the layout. Yeah, I don't like it without the sub-legends at all. Print screen, no. Here. Unlock is here, isn't it? But it's up here. Now we just need the numlock. Numlock. Here it is. Let's do the mods. Now we need the 175 view shift. This is not 175 view. Where are you? Here it is. And then for the top we have pause, home, and delete. Let's see, pause, home, and yeah, just lock. I don't know why. Super odd as well. Don't ask me why. So we're just missing home, right? Yes. Here it is. All right. So we are basically done. And now we're gonna try to get some yeah, with R5 it would be next level. Artisan time, you bet. Afar Siqueira. All right, let me bring the 3 more popular ones, and then if we don't find suitable caps, we can always dig deeper. Let me show you guys what I have. Removing the lock as well? Yeah, we can do that. I can take it out. If I manage to take it out. Okay, now is where I really need your suggestions on what to use. And I can never open this properly. Sawdall. Just fill the whole F row with artisans. Isn't that a bit over the top? Yeah, I like it there, Panda. That's a good one. Now help me, people. From here and here, do you guys think we should use something? The fugu, okay, I'm getting the fugu. I agree with you. Oops. What did I just drop? I have no idea where it went, but I'm gonna look for it after. Okay, so fugu. First case on the left, third row from the bottom. Second artisan from the right. This one. 3 Erebos and 1 less pilot. Fuck you. Let's put this one here. And third box, middle row, less cap. There. Is that good? Do we have a winner? Meanwhile, I'm gonna try to look for the artisan that I dropped. And I just found it. Wow. It was a dead Ronan. All right, so I guess we can do a typing test now. Okay, let's see here. You guys ready? Here we go. Right, let's do typings.gz. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it sounds really good. I'm gonna try now without my headset on. Not the best in the world, but that will do. Let's check out the mods. Hold on. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the board. I think it sounds really, really nice. Very, very cool. I don't think Drifting Bunnies is here anymore, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks, how it sounds. It's an amazing board. And you can still use your mouse here and get away with it. That's what I love about it. Yeah, me too, waiting for round 2. I think there will be a round 2, guys, so you guys will be in luck. All right. Anything else? Any questions? Well, kind of like Rect 1800 too, though. I don't know which one that is. Let me see. Oh yeah, I've seen this. I completely forgot now. But yeah, Canon keys. Yeah, and knowing Canon keys, I think the price is going to be amazing. So there's that. Now I need to find a way to program this so that the LEDs on caps lock only gets on when I have caps lock. Oh, we forgot to see that because we have this amazing thing here that is this man, I love the execution of this indicator. I just think it's pretty amazing. Check this out. All right, let's see if we have someone streaming right now, which we kind of don't. Not at all. Hey, Derbs, I am just about to finish. Yes, we just finished this amazing board here called the Austin. And I just finished doing the typing test and we are about to wrap this up. So this didn't take as long as I thought it would take. It only took me an hour and 45 minutes. But the good thing is that I had prepared the stabs beforehand because those take a little time. Since we have so many, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stabs. Yeah, I love the indicators in this board. Like, how cool is this? great execution, great idea. But you kind of want to have them all the time, which is why I think I'm going to change it on QMK. Still don't know. All right, guys. Thank you for sticking around so long. And I am going to travel this Saturday, and I'm going to be around 4 weeks out of the country. So there will be almost no streams during the time, which is a shame. But as soon as I come back, I am still streaming this week. I think tomorrow we're going to do some unboxings, but after I come back, we're going to have like tons of things that are due to arrive. And we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 different GMK key sets and different boards and the whole thing. So there, hang on for those 4 weeks, because as soon as I come back, we're gonna have a ton. Yeah, avoid China. I know. All right, guys. You have a good night, and that's it. Bye, guys.